everyone. So this is another installation of the raw material, and what we're going to do is we're going to read 16.32 from the raw material, and we are going to compare it to the Law of One Tarot. So this will just be a short video, I think, but let's get started. All right, so in 16.32, the questioner says, thank you very much. Can you tell me how the Confederation of Planets was formed and why? Ra says, I am Ra. Let me float this head of mine on top. Okay, Ra says, I am Ra. The desire to serve begins in the dimension of love or understanding, to be an overwhelming goal of the social memory complex. So the overwhelming goal of love and understanding is fourth density. We're seeing it in the experience of the mind as the emperor. We are seeing it as experience of the body complex as the strength card, and we are seeing it as the experience in fourth density of the spirit complex as the moon card. So let's just talk about the moon card, the spirit complex. So Ra says that I am Ra, the desire to serve, service to others, not 3D service to self. 3D is unconscious service to self, which is catalyst. This here is 3D. Catalyst, mind complex is Empress, body complex of the catalyst is the Wheel of Fortune. I call it the chakra wheel. I also call it the Wheel of Choice, the Wheel of Karma. It's totally up to you. Whatever resonates, you use what resonates. And then as a spirit complex, we have the faith card for the catalyst. And in my opinion, in the beginning of your journey, I feel, and this was for me for sure through my experience, this is the card, the faith card, that was most significant in my spiritual growth. Life was so bad, as it can be for all of us. When you look at this devil, this womb of the matrix, this is yin energy, and look at this devil of the matrix, the spirit complex of the matrix. Then right beside the devil, we have the tower, people falling off the tower into something. Maybe it's water, maybe it's the ground, who knows? But this is the potentiator for the spirit complex. Then finally in 3D, third density, we have the faith card. And I know when I was constantly looking this way, looking this way, looking this way to all the chaos and reacting to the subconscious mind, not seeing this light that the potentiator is giving, but constantly falling off the tower, I remember this faith was always, there's got to be something better. This can't be it. There has to be something better. Just that contemplation is the faith card. It is the spirit complex of the catalyst. That contemplation in itself, if we go diagonally this way, that contemplation of catalyst then gives movement to the strength card, which is understanding. Because what you're doing when you're contemplating in faith of God, that there's got to be something better, when you start contemplating that, this strength card, this is love and understanding. You give yourself this expansion from the tesseract. The heart is the tesseract. It's the cube. That's where energy expands from. And this tesseract starts balancing out the yin and yang, so you're not so much in the shadows, even if it's for that moment. And it quiets the ego. It quiets the lower mind, because love and understanding will do that. Because now it's not even service to self when you're asking these questions. It is service to, there's got to be more. What is there out there? It's a curiosity, which then, even for a moment, brings you into the mind complex of the significator, which is your I am. Then in that moment, you might hear your I am speak, or you might feel your I am through your feelings, and you might feel a little bit of relief in whatever thought that was given to you. So going back to what Ra says, I am Ra, the desire to serve begins in the dimension of love and understanding. That's fourth dimension experience. To be it begins in the dimension of love and understanding to be an overwhelming goal of the social memory complex. So the overwhelming goal of the social memory complex. So each of these have their own social memory complex. All 7 densities have a social memory complex. So here in this experience, 4D, the overwhelming urge here is now service to others, because you've already been through this service to self thing and it didn't work out real well. So once you give love and understanding, not to understand others, that's not your job, but understanding is very different. Then we come to service to others. So service to others is 4D. Thus, those percentiles of planetary entities, plus approximately 4% more of whose identity we cannot speak, found themselves long ago in your time seeking the same thing, service to others. So we have no purpose in this 3D. We're always seeking for a purpose, but the truth of the matter is that there is no purpose, because purpose is still service to self. What we're doing here on 3D, the learning lessons that we're going through, are literally to get into this 4D, service to others. And to do that, one must become self-aware, because this is the density of self-awareness. But you have to make the choice. The Fool card, as we know it in modern tarot, or the Choice card, which Ra calls it, which I think is also the God card. In my opinion, I feel like the Choice card is the God card. And the Choice card is paired with the significant self. So you can make the choice of self-awareness through Catalyst, the unconscious mind. You can make the choice to self-awareness. When you make that choice, you're going to start understanding perspectives of others and yourself extremely differently. You will begin to create new realities. And as you keep creating these new realities through your thought processes, that's going to bring you into 4D, service to others. Then you just change. You just become more aware of other people, and you have this overwhelming need to do even the little things. If you see someone struggling with a lot of groceries, you will run to go open their door. Or if someone does have a lot of things in their hand, you might say, "Can I help you to your car? Are you okay with all of that?" You may do things like this. This is very much so service to others. What I'm doing here is wealth. This is wealthy. When I share this knowledge that I have with those that are interested, and it expands their consciousness as well, this is what the true meaning of wealth is. The distortion of money equals wealth, that's a distortion. That's an illusion. This sharing of information is my service to others, 4D, and it gives back what it gives me, the catalyst that now it gives me, because now we're going from love and understanding this way. Because the significant self is on top of the catalyst, what it gives me is wealth, is abundance. I feel like I have done so much work and sharing that it gives me joy. I feel wealthy when I do vlogs like this. Okay, the relationship between these entities as they entered an understanding of other beings, other planetary entities, and other concepts of service was to share and continue together these commonly held goals of service, to share and to continue. Thus, each voluntarily placed the social memory complex data in what you may consider a central thought complex available to all. This then created a structure whereby each entity could work in its own service while calling upon any other understandings needed to enhance the service. This is the cause of the formation of the manner of the working confederation. It's interesting. So it says the relationships between these entities as they entered an understanding of other beings, other planetary entities, and other concepts of service was to share and continue together these commonly held goals of service. Thus, each voluntarily placed the social memory complex data in what you may consider a central thought complex available to all. This then created a structure whereby each entity could work in its own service while calling upon any other understandings needed to enhance the service. This is the cause of the formation and the manner of the working of the Confederation. If this fourth density installed a social memory complex, voluntarily placed the social memory complex data in what you may consider a central thought complex available to all. If this thought complex of love and understanding of 4D was placed here in 4D at this time, because the Confederation began, this wasn't working, service to self wasn't working, right? So we needed to place this memory complex of service to others, and it starts by thought. I'm wondering if this was placed in the heart plexus, in the tesseract, through sacred geometry and music, voice vibration, it vibrates outwards. I'm wondering, how was the significator and the social thought complex? Is that also a social thought complex, a memory complex? Is transformation also a social memory complex? We know these are here. Well, the matrix, yes and no, it's very personal. But that's a good question. Let's read on a bit more. I was going to end it there, but I'm kind of curious. The questioner says, with such a large number of planets in the galaxy, I was wondering if you say there are approximately 500 Confederation planets. That seems to me to be relatively a small percentage of the total number of fourth and fifth density planets around. Is there any reason for this relatively small percentage in this confederation? Ra says, I am Ra. There are many confederations. The confederation works with the planetary spheres, the circles, of 7 of your galaxies, if you will, and is responsible for the callings of the densities of these galaxies. 7 of your galaxies. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What are the 7 galaxies? Does anybody know what the 7 galaxies are? Maybe these possibly relate to the 7 galaxies. The matrix, 1 galaxy, potentiator 2nd, catalyst 3rd, experience 4th, significator 5th, transformation 6th, great way 7th. Okay. Would you define the word galaxy as you just used it? Oh, Ross says there are many the Confederation works with 7 galaxies. Okay. Would you define the word galaxy as you just used it? Ross says we use that term in this sense as you would use star systems. The questioner says, I'm a little bit confused as to how many total planets then roughly does the Confederation that you are in serve? I am Ra. I see the confusion. We have difficulty with your language. The galaxy term must be split. We call galaxy that vibrational complex that is local. Thus, your sun is what we would call the center of a galaxy. We see, you have another meaning for this term. Okay, so this is interesting. Look where the sun card is. The sun is the center of the galaxy, right? Significator of the spirit complex. Fifth density. Okay. Yes, in our science, the term galaxy refers to a lenticular star system and contains millions and millions of stars. And this has occurred earlier in our communications, this area of confusion. I'm glad to get it cleared up. Now, using the term galaxy in the sense that I just gave you of the lenticular star system that contains millions of stars, do you know of the evolution of other galaxies besides this one? I am Ra. We are aware of life in infinite capacity. You are correct in this assumption. Can you tell me if the progression of life in other galaxies is similar to the progression in this one? I am Ra. The progression is somewhat close to the system asymptotically, approaching congruency throughout infinity. The free choosing of what you call galactic systems causes variations of an extremely minor nature from one of your galaxies to another. It's all connected, man. Vibrationally, what's happening here, it vibrationally affects other galaxies. We're all imagine a clean matrix, and it's all like you're a node, Earth is a node, another galaxy, our galaxy is a node, which is connected to another galaxy, but vibrationally that galaxy knows what's happening in our galaxy. It's all inter-frickin' connected. I think that's what that's saying. Okay, I'll end it there. I love you guys so much. My last day in Honolulu, and I will see you guys in Bali. I'm going to be in Bali for 2 weeks. I will see you there. Love you. Bye.